Hello, my name is Dewey Jones, and I used to be a full-time ski instructor at Keystone, and this is going to be my intermediates guide to Keystone Ski Resort. For intermediate, I want you to be at least a level 5 skier or snowboarder, and these are the skills that you should be able to have to handle this guide safely. Now, if you think you are a intermediate skier, but you still want a little bit more practice, check out my beginner's guide, as that'll show you some good runs to start out to warm up on. We're going to start at River Run Base, and we're going to take the gondola up to the top. At the top, we're going to get on Mozart. Mozart is a blue run and somewhat challenging to some skiers and snowboarders. However, I'm having you take it at the beginning of the day, because at the beginning of the day is when it is at its best. It's usually groomed at night. If we've gotten some snow, it's going to have nice snow on it. And it's a good warm-up lap for where we're going. So first run we're going to take is Mozart, and we're going to ski down to Santiago chair, and let's go. All right, when you're coming down Mozart, you're going to see that big rock up there. That rock is going to be your sign that's going to get a little steeper, a little narrow. Make sure you're coming down it nicely, but once you turn that corner, I want you to pick up a little bit of speed, because it flattens out down at the bottom, and you're going to want to get enough speed to kind of carry you through all the way to Santiago. All right, now from the top of North Peak or the top of Santiago, you can head to the right and you can take Spillway. You're gonna have to shuffle a little bit to get that way. However, an easier way would be to head towards Prospector. Now, we're not gonna go down Prospector, but you can use the downward slope towards that way, and then we're gonna cut hard right to take Anticipation, which is an easier blue than Spillway, although they're both fairly easy. But I would recommend, if you don't want to shuffle, take head towards Prospector, but be sure not to miss your turn and make a hard right. From Anticipation, you're going to find this sign. This sign will take you to Spillway, and you can cut over there if you want to kind of take out a little bit of the flatter spot at the bottom. All right, there's going to be two little dips at the end of Anticipation. Now, the second dip is where I want you to really get your speed up. And if you can see kind of down there at the bottom, that's where you want to go get some speed. We'll see if some of these guys will do it for us, and I'll show it right now. All right, this is a great spot to talk about the Outback. The Outback is the third peak of Keystone's 3 peaks. Now, the Outback is generally for experts and advanced intermediates. However, if you are feeling pretty good with the runs you've done so far today, you should be able to handle Porcupine on the Outback. And the reason I'm taking you on the Outback is just so you get those views, because there is some incredible views here. Unfortunately, it's snowing pretty good. I don't know if I'm going to get them for this video, but I'm going to try. Now, generally, Porcupine is going to be your easier blue. Bighorn usually has bumps on it. But yeah, Porcupine will be your easier blue on the Outback. All right, now this is the toughest part of Porcupine. It's down there towards the bottom. It's a little bit steeper. It's still not that bad. But just know that you're going to encounter this after you take the nice easy part of Porcupine at the top. All right, at the bottom of Porcupine, it flattens out a little bit, so you want to get some speed to carry you through the flatter part and get you back to the Outback Express lift. All right, we are on my favorite part of the Outback, the trees. Now, advanced intermediates can start going into the trees. However, I want to make sure that you were able to handle all the blues on the Outback before you start going into some of the blacks around here. And I would start off with the blacks that are near the blues. It's a good tree run. It's less steep than some of the others. However, just be aware you need to have good control going into it. You need to be able to make some turns, be able to control yourself so you don't hit a tree. All right, let's keep going on to North Peak. All right, from the Outback, I'll get on the Wayback Lift. If I'm feeling hungry, I'll stop at the Outpost, get a quick lunch, and then continue skiing. So that's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna go to the Outpost, kind of show you what they got there, and then we'll continue and do some blue runs on North Peak until we're ready to head back to Durkham, where some of the most enjoyable blue runs on Keystone are. Now in Prospector, you will see a little drop that makes the slope get a little bit steeper. Just be aware, sometimes people go sideways down it and shave off the good snow. So just have some good footing and take it easy. Starfire is rated as a black. It's a pretty steep one, but it used to be a blue, so it's one of our easier blacks that you got. And speaking of Starfire, if you really need to get some vertical feet and you're trying to add to it, you can get a ton off of lapping Starfire. So we are now back at the front side of Keystone, Durkham Mountain. And Durkham Mountain is an intermediate's paradise. But let's say, it's probably around 2:30, you spent most of the morning in the Outback, did some North Peak runs, and it's 2:30 and it's a night skiing night. If it's the night skiing night, I would start on Paymaster or Wild Irishman, because those are not lit up at night and it lets you experience some of them. And honestly, Paymaster is one of my favorite blues. I've even filmed a Paymaster top to bottom run if you want to check that out. So from Wild Irishman or Paymaster, you can go down to Montezuma, which is a midway lift, and hit some of the other blues, especially if you're pressed on time before they close. I would hit Montezuma instead of going all the way down to the bottom. After you have hit both Wild Irishman and Paymaster, you might be using Montezuma. Now Montezuma is going to take you right back to the top, and you can choose to go down Frenchman, Spring Dipper, or any of the other ones that you see on this mountain. Most of this mountain can be done by a true intermediate. All right, so some tips about Durkham, or the front side of Keystone. If you want some nice, easy beginning bumps, try Gassy Thompson. If you want a nice beginning blue, Hoodoo. Also, check out my beginner's guide. Now, I know it is a beginner's guide and you're an intermediate, but it'll show you kind of what those runs are like, because those are really fun as an intermediate also. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great time at Keystone, and trust me, the views are really good, even though this video probably didn't show them. I'm still hoping that sun comes out. It has moments, but we'll see. Coming up, future Jeep videos, Jeep exploration. We're also going to do some more Colorado stuff that really show off Colorado. So I hope you stay tuned,